Hey everybody, it's your pal Rob. I hope everything's going well and you had a wonderful holiday this past Wednesday. Still got one more left, New Year's Day. To you, Happy New Year's. Hopefully you guys are just having a great holiday season. I needed that. I just took the dogs for a 1 mile walk, which is always fun. So, Christmas was very surprising. I got a lot of really cool stuff. My wife had been working on something for a year, and we'll show that to you later. Oh, what's going on with this stupid internet? Dropping frames and all this other fun stuff. So, yes, during the week, constantly doing stuff and everything, getting ready for the holidays and stuff like that. And, at night I settle down and usually I watch, YouTube, just kind of go over some rules I may get wrong, or, check a video on something that I'm going to be doing something on upcoming. The Metal Trucker. Okay, this is live. LOL. Yes. Yes, I do it live. So every Sunday morning, I usually get out here and talk for about an hour. I try to keep it under an hour, but I like to run my mouth. What can I tell you? So we like I was saying, so at night, I'm usually looking at something, or, whatever, watching a movie, whatever it takes. Anything to decompress from the long day of, taking care of the farm, making sure everything's good, taking these two fools for a walk. God. They got a vet appointment at the end of the month. I hate taking them to the vet. Number one, it's always very expensive. Number two, I just want to make sure that they're okay, and we get them in great health for another year. And like I said, I hope you all had a great holiday. But I came across this video and it said we're retiring, and it's a couple of people that I kind of I know. They've always been nice to me, and that's Ant Labs. And they said we're retiring. That was the cover of the video. And I said, okay, is this some kind of clickbait thing? So of course I decided to watch it. And they've decided to hang it up, which I thought was kind of interesting. They've really had, they've actually been doing this a little bit longer than I have. And the funny thing about it is that they, have gotten themselves in, now I don't know what the particulars are, but they dropped their channel because they were getting harassed because I believe his wife said something or another. I don't know what the story is. I don't even care. They've always been nice to me, and I've always respected them. As a matter of fact, I think I've told the story that I was with the Dice Tower, and I met them a long time ago. I actually met Ant. His wife was at the counter, just thought I was some kind of stupid fan or something, which I wasn't. And he was looking for Sudafed because her allergies were acting up, and I kind of helped him. And I knew who he was. I think he knew who I was. And, we were just always very, respectful to each other. We had correspond a little bit through some comments that we would make on each other's videos and stuff like that. Always nice people to me. Always respectful to me. So, I felt really bad. Because, when I was listening to them talk, and the reason I'm talking about this is it opened my eyes to a lot of things. And, one of the things that they had talked about was they said, hey, we're retiring. We want to leave, but there's a lot of good people out there that will take our place. No, I don't believe that. Okay, we are losing a very, very good channel, a very solid channel, an honest channel, not a fame whore. Which every time you turn around, somebody is a fame whore. They're putting comments in my thing, trying to get noticed. Giving their opinions, like, they've been, I had somebody criticize me for one of my lists, and I don't care. And I was like, okay, this is some kind of channel. And he proclaimed that this game was the best game and that I saw, my opinion sucked. I clicked on it. He had like 500 and, 600 viewers. Anything to try to spark some kind of controversy to bring traffic to your channel. I admire the effort, but it's scumbag, And I could see their frustration with the business as a whole as well. And, listening to them talk, I couldn't believe when they were talking about the reasons why they were retiring. It's how many things that have gone through my head recently. And, I was like, oh, God, yeah, no, I go through that. Oh, I go through that. I go through that. Some of the things that they talked about, they have very lucrative full-time jobs. So do I. It's with my son down and going through some of the stuff that he's going through. Matter of fact, he got some bad news last night through the medical portal that, we're going to have to, there's no way around radiation. So, he's going to be laid up, which means I've got to take care of the farm, which is a lot. And he's trying to do a little bit of his work, to bring money in. And, it's a lot to keep things going around here. So, it doesn't matter how good of a job I've got. And, I'm very thankful for the 30 some odd years I've been doing this. That, that job is the most important thing right now. And, you have this as a supplement income, and it kind of is. And, I think one of the reasons it is because I am culling so much of my stuff. Another thing was space. They live in a small house. Well, we have 5,600 square feet. That's a lot of room. But, I want to cut down the space here. And, hey, AJ, how you doing? And, as I've been culling my games as well. And so they've been going through a thing and getting it down to the things that they really want to invest themselves into. And I felt I'm doing the same thing. Another thing is that they always feel guilty when they just sit down and play a game as a couple and they don't turn on the camera. I feel that all the freaking time. And I play a lot of stuff off camera because you just don't feel like... one of the hardest things of doing this is take a game like Kingdom Death Monster. Excuse me for a second. You have the 1.0, the 1.2, the 1.3, the 1.5, the 1.8, and the rules change. And the problem is when you go put that on film, if you are not playing the latest up-to-date rules, okay, people are going to call you on it. They get upset over it. Oh, you're playing it wrong. You're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. And sometimes you just want to play a effing game, okay? It's as simple as that. Whether you get it wrong or right. The funny thing is if some rules are broken, if you enjoy the game, you can fix the rules yourself. We're all pretty intelligent people, and we can kind of get what the designer says, and you could change it. It's not going to change the world, okay? The world is not going to stop and point the finger at you and go, you're an idiot. Oh, my God, we're going to cast you into a pit of fire, okay? It's your interpretation of the game, how you play the game, how you enjoy the game, which is one of the most important things. And when you represent a game or a company and you put it on tape and you say, hey, I'm going to show you how this is played, and you do it wrong, it's very hard. You have to try to be as right as possible. Number one, out of respect to the company. Number two, out of respect, to your audience. You want to make sure that you're giving them the correct information, because they put their trust in you. When the camera's off, however you play the game is how you play the game, and that's fine. So I can understand the frustration and the fatigue in reading rules. Also, when you turn on that camera, it becomes a job. It really does. Okay? And when somebody sends you something, gives you something, or anything like that, you want to represent those people the best you can. Martin, who is a fantastic guy. I have great pleasure. I think the difference between me and them is it got to the point where, they still got young kids and stuff like that. And they're starting to branch out a certain way where me, I'm older. I do have grandkids I like to spend time with. But you come to a point where you turn on that camera and it does feel, for me, when I'm helping a guy like Martin Knight and doing D100, for me, it's a pleasure because I like him a lot. Or if I do something for All or Nothing, or, Portal Games, people that have always been good to me. Columbia Games, another company that have been very supportive. Brett from World Spanner Factions, who I gave my Game of the Year to. Another guy that's been nothing but kind, informative, helpful. Simon, all these different companies. It is a pleasure to try to help them the best you can. Not to, but I can see where it becomes fatiguing. Okay, you get something, you've got to read those rules. You've got to make sure that you are Johnny on the spot the best you can, that you represent their game and their company to the best of your ability. And that's where it really becomes a business. Okay, and that can get very fatiguing. I feel the fatigue at times. But I've got some stuff, thank God, because, the other thing that they talked about is how much you invest into your channel. That's where costs offset themselves. You go and you buy certain things, and, like Pathfinder Arena, we've gone through that. You buy things to support the channel, to bring things to you guys, and it offsets the money that you make a lot of times. Sometimes you're very blessed. And, even though I got this word, Lock and Load is a company that's been very supportive of the channel. I got a thing. They've got a bunch of stuff that they said that they were sending. That was a month ago. And I wrote them. I go, I'm trying to fit this into my schedule, especially on vacation, which I have another week of. That, I want to make sure that, I take care of it during vacation while I've got time. And then they kind of ghost me, which I couldn't figure. Whatever. But, you have companies that will send you stuff and you go, okay, you want to get it done right away. That's a lot of pressure that you put on yourself because you want to be very efficient, okay? And you want to represent and you want to take care of the people you care about, whether they become your friends or they do things for you. And it becomes fatiguing. And they became very fatigued with it. Also, another thing is, they just got tired of it. They have other hobbies. In life, hobbies you go through patterns with hobbies. And they were doing it for 10 years, which I'm coming up on 10 years. And I'm going, yeah, to do one hobby consistently and passionately, it doesn't, and especially put it on YouTube, that's a long time. Because as you get older and as you do things, your hobbies change too. I have a lot of different things I like to do. I like to do active things. And, like I said, I was on a traveling softball team, flag football team. I enjoy playing racquetball now. Golf, all this other stuff that I get out and I get exercise. Some people just, that's it, but the majority of us, our hobbies change. Video games from the beginning of time. I've always had a passion for video games, but it's always done this until recently, and we'll talk about that in a little while. And I've been consistent with this, and like they said, they've changed. They've got children that are in soccer, and she had coached a team. You've got other things. The space things take up. The equipment, when you just want to play a game, you're tripping over wires and things and stuff that are all over the place, and cameras and so forth and so on. And sometimes you just want to sit and play something, and that's it. And pack it up and move on. And it's this can take a lot out of you. It really does. Sorry about the, we're having a little bit of bit rate problem. Sorry. Then you got to worry about all the equipment that you have to maintain and blah, 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 and it just goes on and on and on. I just got to move this hair towards the door there. There we go. That should help it. This drives me nuts when this thing starts acting up like this. But, I'm sorry if there's any choppiness or anything, but you get to a point where it really wears you down. And, they just finally decided, something, we're just not going to do this anymore. And, like I said, they've had some problems where they changed from different channels. They tried that, and some things were successful, some things weren't. And I know how that feels. You always take a risk, and you try to change things. Mental well-being. Oh, God, this thing is just really sucking ass today. I don't know why. It's buffering as much as it is today. So I apologize for that. I know it cleans up in later. Error is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. Of course. Thank you so much. So damn aggravating. I apologize for that, but when people watch this back, it all tightens up for some reason. AJ, let me just read this real quick. I know how people... let me put my glasses on. I don't know how people can do it, especially when they have a full-time job as well. A lot of time, you spend so much time and money into it and don't see anything back from it for years. It's very true. Well, everybody hopes that they're going to be famous, and that's the funny part. Very few people become very famous, or YouTube famous as they call it, whatever. You got to do it because you think you're doing something to help people, or maybe it helps you mentally, or we talked about this last week and how it helped me in many ways. And, the feel a connection with people. And, it's a good thing. Metal Trucker. I dropped 500 on a second cam and other crap I'll never see return because I can't monetize with copyright music. Oh, I'm sorry about that, brother. It's a lot of, it's if you like what you're doing, it's not a lot of work. Editing, I always feel that no matter who's doing editing and stuff like that, it's a real pain in the arse. And it can really take a lot out of you. I think the editing's the hardest thing. Like when I've got to sit there with the computer and I've got 5 videos to edit and clean up, which, I try to do the bare minimum, and it just kind of, and then, you get 100 views on the damn thing and you go, okay, well, that wasn't good. But, and I put out a lot of videos. I've got almost 5,000 videos. 5,000 videos in 10 years. That's a lot of videos. I've had a lot of things to say, and I think that's the thing that keeps me going. I still have some things to say. But when I heard them, and Leafs. Yeah, go Leafs, bro. Did they win last night? I haven't even checked yet. Usually I wait for the Joe Bowen thing on YouTube, and I watch that. I love watching that guy. Oh, he is so good. I wait for Joe Bowen's highlights a lot of times, or I'll sit and watch a game, depending on which. Of course we didn't. Damn it. We've lost 3 out of 4 games. That's all right. I love my Leafs. I do, and we got a bunch of injuries, so we'll be all right. Once we head into that four country playoff thing where we got a little bit of break and stuff like that, and we get back healthy, I think we'll have a good second half of the season, only to lose in the first round like we normally do, but that's okay. But when I heard everything that they said, and I do wish them the best, okay, and I'm happy for them because I know Ant wanted to quit a while ago, as he stated, but he did it for her because she really enjoyed it. I just think, in my heart of hearts, that when I listen to them and I meshed with the same things that they go through, and how much of a relief it'll be to just close shop, it made me think, do I go to 10 years and then close it up, or do I just keep going? And those are some decisions because they put a lot of things into my head, especially since I'm having such a great time with some of the things that, I love fishing and stuff like that. Oil 1000. I don't want to be famous. I do it for fun. Okay. It just kills me. I never go on other people's channels and promote myself. I hate doing that because, you feel like you're disrespecting them, especially when somebody's on there talking about stuff and things like that. But what I really, really, really I've thought about is, 10 years, to do this for 10 years, 5,000 videos, that's quite an accomplishment. And I'm pretty happy with what I've done. So anything I do after this is a bonus, I think, for myself. And, maybe I'll think of how I want to do it. But, listening to them really made me think a lot, especially since I have so many other interests. And I'm trying to take care of a farm, take care of a family, along with everything else. I wasn't talking about you. No, I was just talking in general. It's funny how how over the years some of that stuff, it just made me think of a few things. I'm sorry. No, I'm not saying either one of you are doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. No, I was just reading it, and I was just thinking of a week ago when a guy's going on saying, my channel, what I do, and how I make people come. And I'm like, why are you? It just made me think something that had nothing to do with you two. I'm sorry. I get off track and I bounce all over the place. Of course, I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning, which never helps things, because I get up, I go to the gym, then I got to go feed all the farm animals, and then I've got to go. I take these pups for a walk. Then I've got to go to the dump. Then I do this. Then I've got a few other chores. I got to take care of my mother-in-law. I end up going to Publix on Sundays because I've got to get her the paper and her scratch ticket. And then maybe somewhere I take a shower and try to relax on a Sunday. So, and a lot of times on Sunday I tape, but today I'm just not doing it today because I do have the rest of the week for vacation, so I'm going to tape these things sometime during the week when my wife's at work, and things. So what I wanted to talk about, and like I said, retirement, basically, they didn't want to call it quitting because they never quit or anything, but you're kind of giving it up. And if you're retiring, yeah, you're retiring. And I've thought, after watching that, I've really thought about it. And, I'm just going to take it day by day. I'm still having fun doing things for people and stuff. And there's still a lot of things, like I've got a bunch of games here that I want to show off, old stuff, that I'm very interested in showing. But my wife, I've been talking about something, and I said, well, it'd be kind of interesting. Now, when I had the VR for the PlayStation, I used to get really sick. I mean, I would get motion sickness, and I would sweat like a ton. But that was early on. That was almost like 5-6 years ago. And I just said, well, VR is not for me. The motion, the quick movements are just too much for me. And I can't do this. And I was doing this on the PlayStation 4. Was it the 4? Or the early moments of the 5? Well, I've heard nothing but great things about the Meta Quest. And I started talking to my wife about it, about almost a year ago, because she's saying, what can I get you? What can I get you? What can I get you? I go, well, I would really like one of those things. It made you sick last time. I go, I know, but there are certain games, like the Demio game. It was a board game that you could play with this headset on. And I said, well, if I just play kind of like the board games on it, she goes, well, that defeats the purpose of it. And I said, okay, well, if you feel I shouldn't have it, I shouldn't have it. Well, Christmas game. And she bought me the Oculus 3. Look at this thing, man. Now, this isn't the original headset. She got me this headset that I had to put on. What is it? A Sonotone or something like that? And it came with 2 batteries that you put on here, and they magnetize onto this thing. So, where this thing only works as far as, and she got me this case too, which is cool. And everybody got me a whole bunch of gift cards. So, let me turn this around here. So I wanted to show that to you guys. And does it go that way? No, it goes that way. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I'm an old fart, and my I am. I'm pretty old, so to be playing around with a VR headset was kind of interesting. And the funny thing about it is that so I charged it up, and it's a pain in the neck, but because of the stupid bandwidth, so I'm just trying to fit this all in. So just bear with me. Oh, the buffering. Okay, there it goes. It seems like it's okay now. What's up?
I was gonna go to the fridge.
Go ahead. Just gonna go to the fridge while everything's buffering, so we can wait a few seconds. I really hate our internet. I really do. But so I got it and I put it on, and it's incredible because there's a little dashboard here, and you just kind of dink, 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 and you got these two handle things. And I didn't have to move. So one of the first games I downloaded, because I love to fish. And the problem is, this is a weird time of year because crappie fishing is great. But if you are using a bobber and you are fishing with a bobber, the real problem that you run into is if it is very windy, because of the way the winds work here, it's almost impossible to fish to some degrees, especially the lake that I like to fish. So I wanted to go fishing the other day, and it was just too windy. It was almost like 15, 16 mile an hour winds, and I said, okay, I'm just not going to do it. I'll go another day. So I put this stupid headset on, right, and I get this VR real fishing. I'm sitting there, and it's like I'm really fishing, and I'm looking around. I go, oh my God. And everything's so crystal clear and everything, and I'm having like this great time fishing. And I'm catching, and when you catch the fish and you look at it, and you're turning it this way, and it just looks like a real fish. I'm going, okay, this is cool. And then I got this other one that was kind of cartoony, which is bait, which is a lot of fun. And I was having fun with that. So that took up a bunch of hours. And then I got this miniature golf game, okay, where I'm standing up and I'm playing miniature golf. And I'm having a great time. I go, this is unbelievable. I could play golf. Now, here's a couple things that I've learned, okay? Because I wanted to go, join a senior league, maybe playing softball. So I buy this baseball game, and my from so much sports, my wife says that I've just worn out my is the mini golf game called Walkabout? Yes, it is. Oh my God, I love that thing. It was free on the Quest Plus thing, so I downloaded it. And I thought, oh, this is great. So I've been playing that 100 times. Then I got Golf Plus. Okay? I said, well, I haven't gone golfing in a long time. Okay? And I was actually thinking of going and buying some golf clubs, and because I live in Florida, so there's 9,000 golf courses, and I've always been very, very good at golf. Well, I got this Golf Plus. It's like playing real golf, and I don't have to go outside. I don't have to the wear and tear on my joints. At walking, 20 miles. I do that with the dogs, right? So, how you hold a club, how your stance is, how you swing, it all. I was slicing the ball like a mother. And I'm like, mother. And I'm getting pissed at myself. My wife's watching me and laughing. And she's taping it. Because I can't hear anything. Because I have the headset on. And of course, I got the speakers blaring. Then, I got the VR football. Which I really enjoyed. Which was a ton of fun. But the only time and all these different games, it came with Batman Arkham something or another, and that was really cool. Okay, because you felt like you were Batman. I'm throwing boomerangs, I'm beating people up, I'm throwing punches. I go, yeah, this is natural for me. Then I went to the VR football, And here I am, Seahawk quarterback. You know, we fired Geno Smith. We put me in place, right? And I'm throwing darts. But as I'm rotating my arm, you know, I could feel it hurt a bit. Because I still suffer from the long COVID a bit. And I'm going, oh, yeah, you know, I was thinking of playing softball. I have this other baseball game I haven't tried yet that looks like Wii Baseball, which I love me some Wii Baseball. So I'm hoping that's good. The only time I got a little motion sickness was I bought this game, Iron Harvest or something like that, I think it was, or Iron Rebellion, and you're sitting inside a mech. And when I move, you feel like you are moving, and I'm moving with this thing, and I'm firing, and I'm shooting this up, I'm shooting these targets up, and I'm, you know, it's like BattleTech, and you're the pilot. And I'm like, damn, this is cool. The only thing that kind of I was kind of hesitant about, I wanted to get Catan VR, but I don't know if you can play it by yourself. And if I have to play with other people, I hate playing with other people. Well, I don't mind playing with people I know, and sometimes I don't mind playing with other people, but I hate when they rage quit or they quit in the middle of games. So I just play things by myself. Very solitary person, unfortunately. But I would love to get Catan. And then they had a couple other... Oh, I got this space game that I've got to try. It's some 4X game where you are moving ships in this universe and you're trying to get more resources, conquer certain things and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, this looks cool. The thing is the most awesome thing ever. As a matter of fact, I was playing so much Slay the Spire on the computer, not the board game. People get pissed because I don't like the board game. If you make a game, okay, and you put Slay the Spire on it, it is a single player game. Your concern should be making a great single player game, okay, that you can play by yourself. And multiplayer, okay, which everybody says, oh, the multiplayer is so much better, the solo stuff stinks. Then it's not really Slay the Spire. Then it's not. And people get upset that that was a disappointing game, because if you love Slay the Spire, which you play by yourself, and you get the board game and it's just not that good solo, okay, then you made a multiplayer game which is different from what the game should be. Just it kind of has the same flavor. I don't know. For me, it just didn't work. It was disappointing. So, now if other people love it, that's fine. I didn't care. But people get upset over the stupidest things. They really do. It's mind-boggling. So then, oh, and I was playing this Bellaro or something like that. It's like poker. You got to make poker hands, then get points and beat bosses. You go through 8 levels. I was playing that all the time. I have not played a game on my Xbox since I got this thing. Because my whole freaking life right now is playing this. I can't wait to wake up and go play 18 holes or play miniature golf. And now I'm looking for even more games. Shopping is almost half the fun. Oh, it's clear now. Haha, funny. Is the mini golf? Yeah, I answered that. Yeah, Walkabout is really cool. It is really cool. Marcus, how are you, my brother? At Rob. Maybe a question completely off the loop here, but I'm looking to maybe pick up Voidfall tomorrow, only for solo. I know you gave it some praise earlier this year. Has it held up? It sure has. It sure has. Baltroll. I can't say the name, but a great game. Whoa. Let's not mess with the Leafs. We have enough problems. Yeah, it is. Voidfall's a great game. There was another one that came out that was very good solo. Oh, it's under the table here. Hey, Gap. Hold on, guys. I can't see under there. Damn, there was another game that was really, really good solo. Hold on. Is that it? No. No, I don't see it over there. Oh, God, if I can remember the name of the doggone game. But Voidfall is very good solo. I really enjoyed it. There is a big learning curve with that bad boy. I've been looking at that too, but it hasn't attracted me as much. A Drama's Edge? No, it wasn't a Drama's Edge. Interstellar. I think it's Interstellar. That was very good solo. You might want to look at that one too. And between those two, it's pretty close, but I kind of give it a little bit of the edge to the Interstellar. I think that's the name of it. Both have solo, and they're both very good. And I find I have Interstellar. Okay, cool. Yeah, then get Voidfall. You're going to like it just as much. Or did you mean Starship Interstellar? No, Interstellar. It was one word. It wasn't Starship Interstellar. No. If you're going to play a space game, there's only really one, and that's Zaya. And you got to have Ambers of the Forsaken Star expansion with it. The quality, it's probably one of the greatest space games out there. How do you like Pathfinder Beginner Box? I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. I remember buying that. I thought it was decent. Interstellar is super weird, hard sci-fi about trying to survive an interstellar trip to colonize another planet. Yes. It's hard. Starship Interstellar is the one about building a starship while mining the solar system. I have them both. I like them both equally. I think they're both good. I think you're really going to like Voidfall. I really do. I really think you'll like Voidfall. What other space games are there that really stand out? I'm looking around. ISS Vanguard, I really liked. Like I said, Zaya. Silent Death is one of my favorites. But that's a whole different animal. Space Hulk. Undaunted 2200 with the solo does really well as far as the sci-fi type of feel, but that's not what we're kind of talking. Red Alert, which uses the command and colors rules, is very good. Not many people talk about that. It's actually a very good game. It comes with a lot of really good miniatures. That's playable. Merchant in Venus. Whole different animal, but still holds up. Just trying to look around here and trying to get a Space Hulk, of course, classic. But that's a whole different animal. Yeah, I think I hit it all, my brothers. I have Interstellar. It's like a follow-up to HF4A. Okay. But yeah, there you go. Where we are, 44 minutes. Not bad. Yeah, sorry for the buffering stuff. But that in post-production that clears itself up, thank God. Let me just take a look around here. That's tower defense. Yeah. It's weird, I think we all keep waiting for that one great space game to come along. That changes everything. That gives us everything, that solo experience, like Twilight Imperium, good game, but 75 hours and doesn't give you a solo option, even though, I've played some solo rules and they've been decent. It's just you wait for that. Last Light, I don't think really does. I mean, it's a smaller version, but it doesn't really have that solo thing. We just keep waiting for that one great 4X space game, and a lot of things come close, but they just miss the mark. Maybe they go to Euro or whatever it is, but we just want that simple, old school, hey, damn, I'm out to conquer the universe, suck up resources, build ships, fleets. I want to land on planets. I want to smash things, take over, conquer. Maybe do a little diplomacy. Yeah, you stay over there. I'll be all right over here. And meanwhile, plans within plans, kind of thing. But those are hard to find. And, somebody's going to come up with it and make it simple where it's not a 48-page rule book where, you're fatigued. You feel like you played the game just reading the book, There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. I don't know. What do I know? I'm old. Yeah, so, it's been a very interesting week. I really wanted to come on this week live for a bit, but the holidays have been so busy. So busy. And I've been playing I'll be honest with you, my MetaQuest since Christmas. I've got errands to do with my wife, and then I come home, I wait for her to turn on her Hallmark movies, and then boom, I put that headset on, and I'm doing my thing. Did you hear anything about any company making a Thundercats game? Also, I like the new G.I. Joe game, even if it's like the Power Ranger game. Listen, that's a great company. I thought the Power Ranger game was great. I thought the G.I. Joe game is great. Thundercats, I thought maybe Simon was doing something. I'm not 100% sure. Thundercats would be cool. That'd be interesting. That's for sure. Oh, all right. So I've got things to do. But it was very interesting. I want to tip my hat to Ant Labs, who has been a solid, good channel. I know that they've had some problems. I don't know what those problems were. I don't care about that. They've always been nice to me. And anytime I've watched some stuff that they've done it with a lot of heart and soul. And I wish them well in their retirement. They're good people. They made me think, which I thank them for. And I think, anytime that you could take a moment and relate to something, it really helps, because it kind of either is going to wake up something in you and go, something, maybe it's time I move on, or it's going to wake something else up and go, no, I still got something to say. I'm trying to figure out where I am in that. Right now, I'm just happy doing what I'm doing. I'm taking a bit of a break. I'm taking most of January We're just trying to work out some things with my son and find out what his radiation schedule is going to be. And then I'm going to start playing those Warhammer Quest videos for you, because I'll put those in slots, and you can see a bit of a playthrough and stuff like that. And I've got other things in the can that I'm waiting to use. It really depends on what we find out with this doctor and how much time I have to commit elsewhere, but still keep things going. Right now I'm enjoying my very quiet vacation. I've done hardly anything for myself. It's everything for everybody else. I've been the human Uber driver, driving the queen around, taking care of the pups, taking care of the grandkids, doing this, doing that, taking care of my mother-in-law. She's had things that she needed done. Taking care of the cows, the chickens, the goats, the bees, the this, the that, Yeah, brother, yeah. Do what you can and take it easy. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Bless, brother. Thank you, my brother. And I wasn't, I bounce all over the place and talk about things. It just made me think of a couple of people that just really have been rude lately. And that, and one of the things that they said, is that the people that are rude, it does become exhausting. Here you are, you're just doing something. In your heart, your opinion doesn't mean shite, you know what I mean? Because, it's like saying the sky's blue and it happens to be yellow, because of the sun. It's just an opinion. If I draw a picture of something, some people might like it because of the abstract art style. Some people might think, that's very amateurish. I don't like it. Everybody has a different opinion of things. And how you handle things is really fundamentally, you do this for certain people. And I said that last week too. You've got people that if you were in person with somebody, I don't think I'd be able to be as expressive. I always tell the story about meeting John Byrne, who was my favorite artist of all time for comic books. I love comic books. We could talk about comic books until the cows come home. But for me, it was a great experience. And I always wanted to be like that. He took time to explain things and stuff like that. But I've also had that experience where, one of the comic books that inspired me, because my parents were very difficult. So you found ethics and morality sometimes in comic books. And tried to be like that. Nova is one of my favorite books of all time. And I had the very first one. I still do. And went up to Marv Wolfman and I wanted to tell him, I had a problem reading. This book really inspired me to read more and stuff like that. And learn words and things like that. He goes, yeah, I made it for kids. Signed it, pushed it aside. And you felt deflated. I never wanted to come across to anybody that way. So when I give an opinion on things and people are so negative, it's just like, okay, this is what I think of something. It doesn't mean anything. If I don't like a game, doesn't mean that you won't love it. I can only give you a view of it and maybe have you go, yeah, that makes sense. But, I like it for this. And maybe I don't see that. That's okay. Just because I play a few games and I turn on a camera once in a while doesn't make me an expert. I think, and I've said this a million times, there's only one real expert in this field. Okay? And I have to say, it's Tom Vassell. I've seen it firsthand when there are just people that give their life to board gaming. And when a guy can open up a box, look at a few pages and go, oh yeah, this is like this game, and this game. Okay, got it. And then start playing. I've sat there and I've done it with the man. I go, okay, there's something wrong with you or you're just inhuman. That's the only guy that gets it. And even him, he didn't like, originally, he didn't like, what was it? Return to the Dark Castle. Because he didn't like the art style and he thought the game was repetitive. I love that game. Just like I love The Last of Us and Escape the Dark Sector. It's just an opinion. He didn't like it. And I still think he's one of the most brilliant guys when it comes to video games. But, sometimes you align with somebody and things like that. And there's a lot of people that align with what I think. And I try to just give them my view of it to save them money. You can't be throwing away money nowadays. It's ridiculous. Marcus, I like I like your opinion of a game. Does have meaning to me. That's why I asked about Voidfall. Well, you see that's why I kind of do it, because there are people that trust what I say, and I give them my honest thoughts on it. I really do. I don't like trashing games. I really don't. I don't. And this year and last year I didn't realize I did the same video last year, where there were games that disappointed me. It's weird because the business is taking a weird turn. And I think a lot of it has to do with coming out of COVID, all those things, and dealing with certain things and stuff like that, and people just, companies downsizing and trying to figure out where they're going, because people aren't buying the same way anymore. From 2016 to almost 2019, even 2014, 15, if it came out, everybody bought it. It just, the board game craze was at its height. Now it's kind of and leveling out, and you're starting to see companies that can survive it and some companies that just can't. It's as easy as that. So it's really a weird time, and we'll just see how it goes. Now I do plan on being on at some point during the week, maybe New Year's Day or something like that, or New Year's Eve. My wife's got to work, so I think I'm going to come on in the morning, which would be kind of nice. And I really like to do a couple things. So, we'll see how it goes and how the bandwidth holds up. But we will definitely see each other again before the end of the year. Those of you that I don't get to see, all I'm going to do is wish you a happy new year. Hope you had a great holiday season. And again, just be great. That's all you can do. Wargame Wanderlust. Off-topic question for you, Rob. Do you like Alpha Strike variant of BattleTech more or less than the standard BattleTech? No. I really like Alpha Strike because I can play a game very simply with somebody that hasn't played. But for me, someone that grew up, in the cold winters of the Northeast, and taking whatever little metal mechs that you had and, putting on your snow shoes and things, and getting all bundled up and going over your friend's house and everybody meeting over there and playing just one giant game of BattleTech. And there was a lot of bookkeeping, but we had nothing better to do. Okay, and just spending a Saturday afternoon with maybe this guy's one mom would make us homemade pizza, and we would sit there with pizza and soda and just play until it was like 5 o'clock. Then we'd go back home, just check in, clear off, and then we'd come back and do something else. and it was just those cold winters and just finding things to do. And it just brings back a lot of memories. I really like the system. I like the bookkeeping because it just felt very personal. The mech felt very personal. Alpha Strike, it's kind of like, okay, boom, 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 okay, you're gone. But it's more fast-paced, and I think it's made for this generation that doesn't have the attention span that we do. Us older people do. And we do lose it as we get older. I talk to Herman Lutman and Richard Launius a lot of times, and they go, I just don't got time or the mental capacity for big, sprawled out games. I want to play something quick, fun, and move on to the next thing. The whole thing is that people don't have patience anymore to sit there and play those big games. A lot of people, there are people that do still, but it's different now, and they tailored it to this generation, and I think it really works. I think Catalyst is doing a fantastic job with BattleTech. I hope that answers your question the best I could, but still a great game. I've got mechs coming out of my ears, and I still refuse to get rid of any of that stuff. Old stuff, new stuff, doesn't matter. All right. So I think we've said it all. Of course, I've been on for an hour running my gob. I really do appreciate all of you coming here today and hanging out. And we'll do this again during the week. I promise you this time, because Christmas was crazy. I'll put it as simple as that. Trying to get some last minute things for the Queen and stuff, and the grandkids, and trying to do this and that, and everybody's schedule being different and stuff. It was exhausting. Plus we had a whole bunch of people here this year because they wanted to be here because of Justin, my son, with him not feeling well, and he's holding up pretty good spirits, strong-willed. God bless him. We're going to come out of this really good. Happy New Year to you guys. I will see you before New Year's. I promise you. I swear on this channel. Okay? We're going to end this with another live stream. Thank you. But I wanted to talk about that retirement video. And again, all the best to Ant Labs. They've done a fantastic job over the last 10 years. I wish I could do the quality videos that they did, and they put their heart and soul in it, and they deserve nothing more than a tip of the hat and my undying love for them. And God bless them both, and all their children and everything, and I hope they just have a wonderful, wonderful retirement. You guys are the best. We'll be back later this week. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob saying, I love you. We'll see you soon. This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.